What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Listen, I apologize for being late. Y'all know I don't like being late. But we had some technical difficulties, okay, on my part. But we are here now with our special guest tonight. Those who do not know, I'm here with my special guest, Rico. I'm about to bring him up right now. You ready in the back, Rico? All right, he is ready to make it happen. Hey, boo.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, so I'm sorry that we are late, y'all. But we gonna get this thing started. Now, Rico, I'm not gonna tell the people about you. I'm gonna let you tell them yourself. Who are you? Oh, I like that picture in the background. That is pretty.
Thank you.
So, who are you and what you want us to know before we get this party started?
Well, my name is Rico Cassadine. I'm an actor, activist, model, reality star, all around rapper, just all around entertainer. And I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, born and raised.
Okay.
And what else can I say? I'm just myself.
So you're going to get into all of those titles because I'm definitely going to get into that activist. We ain't really talked a lot about that. So this is a quick question before we get deeper. I know, right? Abby looking sexy. Abby said yes, outfit.
Thank you. I wish I could see. I don't know how to see. How I see?
I don't know if you're on your phone or if you're on your phone, look under where it says comments, and then you can see like either private chat or you can see the
comments. Got it.
You got it. Okay. All right. Hey, everybody coming in. Let me share this out real quick. Make sure you know it's Friday night. I mean, it's not. Listen, I'm feeling like it's Friday night because I'm on vacation until Monday, honey. So I am feeling like it's a Friday night. It's Friday night to me, child. But
feels like it to me too, actually.
Oh, well, good then, good. Let me ask you a quick question. This don't have nothing to do with nothing, but I'm always curious. You said you are born and raised in Atlanta. So how do you feel about this influx of people in the last, maybe 15 to 20 years flooding the
city? Crazy. Atlanta is full. Go home. Go somewhere else. Atlanta is full. Stop coming here.
Listen, I was there last week, and which I'm sorry we missed you. You weren't feeling well. You were under the weather, but but we're gonna listen. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Of course, we're gonna link up.
But the traffic is ridiculous.
24 hours of
Saturday, right? That's what I'm saying. Like so we went to Atlanta a couple of months ago, and that's the first time I had been to Atlanta in a minute, right? Oh my gosh. I was like, now we have rush hour traffic, but it is just that. There are certain times of the day, but the rest of the time, the weekends, like we are good to go. We are good to go. And it is all day, every day.
I feel like every part of the highway is being worked on at one time.
I said that too.
It's like traffic is backed up I don't come out my house unless I have to.
Listen, I wouldn't either. And I was telling Abby while we were down there, I said, ain't no way in hell I would live inside of the city limits. I would not. I would be in the suburbs, and I wouldn't. But honestly, that's how I am up here. Because, I'm born and raised in D.C., but I live in the suburbs now. I live out in Maryland, and I'm the same way. I love my city. I love D.C., but hey, Jamar, shout out to Jamar in the chat.
Oh, what's going on? Let me see these chats real quick. What Jamar? Hey, Jamar.
We didn't catch up with Jamar this last time around either, but we caught up with him the first time. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why. So we can start here. That's one of the reasons why I started off supporting the circle. Mm-hmm. It's because Jamar, one of my YouTube ships, one of my friends that I met here through the YouTube sphere. And this was a project he was doing as an EP. And I told him, I said, listen, I will support it because this is your project. Because I hadn't watched any of the other franchises. I hadn't watched New York or Miami. But I said, I'm going to support it because this is something you're doing. So that's how I got to, be watching and reviewing the circle. Well, I guess that's a good place to start. How did you get involved with the circle?
Well, to be fair, I've watched the New York series, and that's how I actually knew who Bugs and Chad were. Because Bugs and Chad are in season 3 or 4. Okay. And then they got their own spinoff show. So I've known about YBN Entertainment. So I've seen his show. So that's how I kind of had an idea about what I was walking into when I did the circle, because I've seen the setup from New York and his way of filming and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I got introduced to it.
Got you. Okay, no problem. We're gonna get back. We're gonna circle around to the circle. Let's go back to the beginning and work our way forward. So you're born and raised in Atlanta. Again, as much as you are comfortable sharing, brothers, sisters, family.
I have 2 sisters, 1 brother. I'm the baby of the family.
I knew that. How I know that?
Everybody's like almost 10 years my senior.
You the baby.
Right. I am the baby. So right now I'm taking care of my mom and my dad. My grandma just passed this
Sorry
year.
to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that.
I was living on my own, but me and my sister kind of decided that we were going to stick close to our parents. She lives actually 2 houses down from my mom's house.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So because my grandma had Alzheimer's, and she was like we had to literally watch her. Yeah. 24/7. So somebody, instead of trying to bring people into the home and sit with her that she didn't know, we rather as a family just, stick together and come together. And I was living out in Clayton County, which is 45 minutes away from the city at the time. And I was staying in a rental property that we were using to make a little extra money on the side. And that was me and my dad's thing. That's what we do. Well, at that time, that's what we did. That was right before the collapse of the, home.
Yeah, everything went down,
that market. So we were stuck with a house that we were trying to rent out that we couldn't rent out. So I was living in the house, making, doing repairs and renovating the house and living in it. And when, my mom moved back up here with my grandma, she asked me to come back and move in so my mom will have somebody. My grandmother had somebody to sit with her that she would know, while my mom worked and my dad went to work. So it's...
Hey, Melly B just stepped in the room.
Uh-oh, hey, Melly.
That's trouble right there. That's trouble. That's Melly B right there.
So me and my family now are like really, really close-knit. And I enjoy it. It's something refreshing because, growing up, me and my mom and my dad didn't see eye to eye a lot about this different stuff. And I was a very strong, opinionated kid.
No.
So I was determined I was going to do what I wanted to do. So as an adult, it's a whole different atmosphere. It's more so like a friendship now. And it's still that respect, bless my mom and my dad, but they see me as the adult that I am and the man that I've come to be. And they support and they champion behind everything I stand for, because my mom always known, I as a kid, I used to always say, I want to be an entertainer. I want to be an entertainer. I want to be an entertainer. I want to sing. I want to dance. And, parents have their own idea of what they want for their children. And sometimes they can be oblivious to what's in front of them when their child says something. And they just stick with that notion of what they see for their child. So that was majority of the conflict between me and my parents growing up. Okay. They had an idea for what they wanted for me, and I had an idea for what I wanted for me. So
yeah, and I think that's what you just said is valid. That parents just have an idea, and it's not, in most cases, it's not that they don't want you guys to be who you want to be, but it's, I had this idea in my head, and I don't want that life for my child because I know it's hard and I know it's unstable, and you know what I mean, like the percentages of who makes it to that status. So I get it, but like you said, and I think for a lot of us that's a natural progression. When we're children, then that's what we are, but as we grow, we mature, then those relationships, they evolve into that more friendship. Yes, because that's definitely my relationship with my parents now. And growing up, I mean, there was a point in time where I could not do and I love my mama to death. It was never about me loving her, but we just, boom, we would just.
It was always a clash, and that was me and my mom. Like,
and now she's one of my best friends. I call my mom all the time.
But like for a long time, I hate to say this, I used to think that my mom didn't want me because I wasn't the son that she wanted. And I was always in my head saying, okay, I'm not going to fuck up and be the black sheep of the family.
Right.
It's already one strike against me. So it's like, I didn't want to, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the rebellious one of the family. I was the one that got in the most trouble. I was the one that got locked up. I was the one that got into fights in school.
Right.
But it wasn't like I wanted to be there. It was like, I just didn't, it was just like some balled up tension. You walk around with all that tension. Anytime you snap, you never know. And that's how I was as a kid. And then as an adult, just being able to sit and discuss things. A lot of my issues were handled when me and my mom just sat down and had a conversation.
Yeah, listen, conversation is a whole lot can be resolved with a good conversation, Yeah. That's good. That's good. So you always had this desire to go into entertainment. Some form. You always do that's what you want to do. Okay, so going through, when did you start getting into did you do talent shows? Did you meet up? Did you link up with some people? Like, how did you first start getting into that?
Well, in middle school and high school, I was in drama club, dance team. I did all that stuff. And in high school, I joined every club because I was playing football. Okay. And I didn't want to play football. I was doing it because my mom and my dad wanted me to.
Trying to make them happy, right?
Yeah. So I joined every single club possible so I ain't have to go to practice every day. I'm talking about I was in shit I ain't know nothing about. And I'm sitting here like, okay, well, we gonna be in Latin club today. Can't speak a lick of Latin, but I should go in the club.
But we gonna get in this club, okay.
Just so I ain't have to go running up and down that field. I did not like to work out. I am not a person that likes to work out. I do not like sweating. I do not like being in pain. But it just so happens I was good. So they made me, every club that I joined, the high school coach had them to send me to practice. So I would get to go.
Like, your name is on the list. Your name is on the list.
Like, okay, you got like 5 minutes in here. And we'll see you out on the field in a second. And I'm like, damn, okay.
Right.
But actually, I was talking to my mom about this the other day. I was like, I never was mad she made me do it because I enjoyed the fact it taught me discipline and it taught me how not to give up on stuff when stuff gets hard. Because being an artist is like very, very hard. You have to like really wait your turn. Yeah.
And you have to be able to deal with rejection. You have to be able to deal with, it's a lot. It's not an easy road. It's definitely not an easy road. Hey, Star, it's definitely not an easy road. So coming out of high school, what do we do?
I went to Clark Atlanta University.
Okay, Clark Atlanta. Okay.
I went to Clark Atlanta University and I majored in mass communication and artist development. Okay. I made it to my sophomore year and said, fuck this. I don't want to do it. I am not wanting to be a school. Let me get the fuck out of here. And I started performing. I started doing drag.
Okay, with the drag. Now, I wanted to get to that. Okay. Right. So you started doing drag was a couple of years out of high school. Okay.
I started like at
where did this come from?
20.
Around 20? So yeah. First of all, what was your drag name?
Tanila Cassadine.
Okay. So where did this come from?
Okay, so I don't know if people remember the chat line like that back in the day.
Yeah, it's a little past my time, but I know what it was.
Okay, so it's my time. Right. So I used to play on the chat line. And I met this boy off the chat line. And me and him started talking, and we were hanging out, chilling, and doing just hanging out and stuff. And we started dating. And mind you, at the time, I was 18. So I couldn't really get in a club. Right. But I was a badass, and I had my own fake ID. So I was clubbing at like 16, 17. So one day, it was... it's an old club here in Atlanta that no longer exists. They turned it into condos. It was called 708. And 708 used to have a drag show on Thursday nights called the Purple Dragon. So I went and they used to have tables sit out and stuff. So we was sitting at the time, me and my friends, we was like, what the fuck is this shit? We hit a party and shake our ass. What the fuck are they doing? So that was my first time watching a drag show. But come to find out, the boy that I was dating actually was one of the drag queens. And he didn't tell me. So then once I found out, you know, I waited a couple of days and I started talking. I was like, you know, I went to this place called 708. And I saw this drag queen. It looked like you. And then as I said, so where you put all that stuff? And then, you know, he showed me, and then I got interested. And the night of my graduation, we went to the was it prom? No, it was prom. Night of prom, me and my friends, because I went with all my gay friends. Like, I had a bunch of girl gay friends. And we would switch our dates. Like, her date was my date, and my date was her date.
Got it.
So that's how we would take our, like, my prom picture in this house is so hilarious. Because I have a Beijing, and I was gay. I was gay. So after prom, after they called prom queen and all that, we left and went to my friend's house, and he put me with the boy that I was dating house, and he put me in drag, and we went to the club called Trax ATL, which was off North Druid Hill. Well, was it off North Druid Hill? Wherever, but it was like the club at the time. It was called Dream, and that was my first time being up in drag.
And you fell in love.
I loved it because that was the same night I saw Raquel Lord perform on stage too.
Oh.
And she was doing Beyonce. It was the Crazy in Love Beyonce from the BET Awards. And I was like, they said Beyonce, and of course I love Beyonce. They said Beyonce here. I was like, Beyonce here? Beyonce is here. And then I look on stage, I'm like, oh, Beyonce look a little thick, but that look like Beyonce. I think. But is it? No, that ain't Beyonce.
That ain't Beyonce.
And I was just like in a trance from after that, and I just wanted to try it. And then from there on, I met Talia Cassadine, who was my gay mother. She introduced me to Tanisha Cassadine, which is my gay grandmother. And I hung out with Tanisha. I drove her everywhere and went to pageants and learned how to sew and stitch up and get in gowns and put hair on. She like taught me everything. Okay.
All right. Yeah, because that came up on the circle, and I was like, when they showed that clip, I said, okay, you better get it, Rico. I see you. Okay. So from there, did you get into, when did you rapping? Because and we're going to talk about, you have a project coming up and some other stuff. And I don't know if I have any mods in the chat, but if not, I'll do it. But go ahead and tell us about your rapping, and then we're gonna make sure these people go over to iTunes and get some of your stuff.
Rapping actually happened because I was acting, and I was on a show called The Mister, and season 1 rapped, and I didn't have nothing else to do. And in high school, I used to freestyle. A lot in high school, like. And I know this makes me sound so old, but I'm not as old as I'm making myself out to be. But we would be in the courtyard at the school, like, rapping, and I was like an openly gay boy. I was openly gay in high school, so I was like the gay boy that rapped. And I remember I watched 8 Mile, and Eminem was like, yeah, if I say it before you say it, it takes the power out of it. So I used to always be like the boy that's been like, hey, fuck faggot, if you think you're gonna step to me, I'll make you suck my dick like you want to be. I mean, nigga, how you feeling and you feeling this cute? I mean, you just got dissed by a nigga this cute. I used to keep it like that.
Right.
And they didn't know how to respond to it. So I was, after filming The Mister, I was like, I gotta do something. And I had a friend who introduced me to like a producer, and you know, he showed me how to write music and put it down into words and stuff like that. And then I got in the studio, and it was just up from there.
Okay, so then I went out of order. Let me rewind then. So let's get to the acting first. Okay.
Okay.
The acting. So how did we get the acting? Because we were going to talk about the Mister and the Circle, and then you have another series as well we were going to talk about. So how we get to the acting?
Okay, so the acting is actually how I met Carl. Me and Carl used to do a radio show. And after we were interviewing, I want to say it was Adrian from ACTV. And, we exchanged information with her. And she was just like, sending out email blasts about, shows. And I mean, in high school, like I said, I joined every club. So I was in the acting club. And being dramatic is just me. I'm automatically just dramatic and funny. So I naturally took to acting. So I was like, okay, well, let me try out for this show. And I hit her up about the character Jessie, which is the character I played on Mister. And she was like, okay, well, I'll get back to you. Well, come to find out, Wesley in the beginning said no for me for that role.
Oh.
And they had somebody else in mind for the role, but he never came through. So they put up another audition for it. And I was like, okay, I want to audition again. So this time I auditioned in front of Wesley. And it was like, I was very nervous because I didn't know that he was reading his part as Hayden. And then me and him were going to end up working together. But me being me, I just went in there and I read it and I was being silly and stupid, just having fun. And he was like, okay. And then I was just about to, he was like, so what's your schedule? Because we're going to need to start filming real soon. So that's how I know I got the role.
Right.
So that's how I started in acting. It was just like.
Okay. So the Mister, is that a web series or that on ACNTV?
It's a web series. He has it on his network, ACTV, which is an app that y'all can go download.
Okay.
But he just released all the seasons of season 1 and season 2 on YouTube.
Like you sent me the link.
Yeah.
Right.
So now you can see. I think it's the last 2 episodes of each season is not on there, but majority of the season is on YouTube, so people can watch and get introduced to the characters and things of that nature, and they could want to go to the network and join the network. Okay,
sorry, y'all. I had some technical difficulties. I'm still trying to work these things out, but okay. So y'all, we can. I know Abby is at she at rehearsal right now. I don't know if I have another mob, but I'll make sure I get this stuff in the chat so you guys can go get it. But because I know you sent me the link, so I can drop the link in the chat. And again, like you said, most of it's on YouTube, but ACTV.
Mm-hmm.
App. It's an app. It's a streaming app, like Peacock or Paramount, Netflix and all of that, right? And there are a lot of shows on there. And again, it is people of color, predominantly people of color, and predominantly members of the LGBTQ community, or no?
Well, actually, no. It's actually a very good mix of everything.
Okay, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Okay.
The Mister was his first gay scripted web series.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
Because before then, he mainly focused on trying to grasp the community as a whole. So he had gay characters on his shows, but his shows weren't really LGBT based. Yeah. It wasn't until the Mister when he started the first, LGBT based web series, and then he went from there.
Got you. Okay. Sounds good. So I know that came up on the circle, so that's why. So y'all, I'm going to put it in the chat. I don't want to be rude. I'm going to put it in the chat before this is over so y'all can go catch up on season 1 and season 2. So is there a season 3 coming? Is it no longer a show? What's going on with the Mister? So we know.
It's so funny that you say that. We just got our text messages today about season 3. So season 3 is working. He is making sure that a season 3 is taking place. A lot of things have happened with some of the actors, and we have been doing, a lot of us, our schedules are a lot different now because we've been actually working now.
Gotcha.
So it was good to text everybody and talk to everybody today and see the direction he wants to go in. So I'm guessing I can say a season 3 maybe in the works.
Okay, all right. Well, we are definitely. I'm about to drop the link in the chat. This is the link that was sent to me, so you guys can go and check out the Mister seasons 1 and 2, and then we will be anxiously awaiting season 3. I just dropped that link in the chat, so y'all go check that out. So now, what is the name of the show that you were doing? Because it was another show that we would at the beginning of the circle. Was that for you, or was that a different show?
You're talking about Frenergy. Frenergy is the show with Martell and Tevin and those.
Don't do that.
Them people.
We're gonna get to that. Don't do that.
Those people.
Because listen, I'm behind on my reviews, clearly. Because y'all know I be having my reviews out. But I'm behind. Work has been crazy. I come home from work. I'm tired. Like, it's just been a lot. But I finished watching The Circle. My review will be out before it'll be out soon. I got to the end of the review and I was like, okay, I know that you were on my channel about 2 weeks ago now. It was sort of impromptu. You and Melly came through. And there was a whole lot of things being said. And so I'm waiting because I know this was the last episode that you were on for the season. And so I'm like, okay, at the end of this episode, it didn't seem like there was any bad energy. So I'm like, how do we get from here to there? So I'm gonna get there because I
watch the clip of the reunion.
Once we get on The Circle, I know that's just gonna be a boom, 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 boom. So I want to make sure I want to get your music and all of that because I'm very curious to see how the energy kind of shifted a little bit, but we're gonna get there. And again, in full disclosure, I don't have people on the show that I dislike. I like Martell, I like you, I like Melly, and those are the 3 I've met. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at the people who I've met. Well, I ain't met you, but I feel like I have. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I had in full disclosure, I hung out with Melly when we were in Atlanta, and it was all good vibes. Melly is a sweetheart in real life.
Mind you, I texted him and I called him and told him to tell y'all. I said, hey.
Yeah, well, he did. Because I was like, we were supposed to try because look, all right, sidebar. We had a packed weekend. And so it was like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, but we wanna see this, we wanna see this person, we wanna see because we were really trying to get to see everybody. And so Melly was the one that told us you weren't feeling well. And I was like, oh no. And then I saw it on your story later on, and I said, oh, he was sick. Because you were at the hospital and everything. So you were feeling bad. You had COVID. Oh man! Well, thank God. I'm so glad that you are. Definitely glad that you are better. But we had a really good time. And in full disclosure, I met Martell when he came to DC. We went out. We had drinks. I hung out. We had a good time. So I don't have no beef with nobody. I'm a reviewer on the outside. So even though I be with people who know that I don't have no opinions, but I do want to get to the. So let's talk about this music before we get to the. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So music. Projects. Have you released EPs? Have you just released singles? What's good? What's goody?
Okay, so
in the words of Lil Kendra, what's goody? Speaking of Lil Kendra, you're doing a show with her next month, right?
Yes, I am.
It's with my boy Oliver.
Yes,
that's my boy.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna get to that. So I put it on my Instagram, but we're gonna plug that definitely. If you are in the Atlanta area, please make sure
December the
17th. So just in time for Christmas, okay? Get you some tickets and y'all go hang out with, I know, there's a lot of the web series crew. It's Oliver Twixt. It's Rico with a K. It's T.S. Lil Kendra. It's Rico Cassadine. It's my boy from G Status.
Voice of Array.
Voice of Array, exactly. Y'all make sure if y'all are in the Atlanta area, that's gonna be a great time. If I thought I could make it back down there, I would, because I feel like that's gonna be a good time.
It's gonna be a cute
if I got down there, I need to be in VIP. No, I'm joking.
Well, I could probably see something.
Right, give me a bottle. That's hot. But yeah, so that's what's going on in Atlanta. So that's gonna definitely be good. But tell us about the music. What's good?
Well, I got my first project out, and I posted it today because I was really listening to it and listening to the growth and and the things that I did on my first project, which was Scorpion Sting. It came out January 17th, 2000.
Sting. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So go check that out. It's on all streaming platforms. I have a slew of features. I've worked with a lot of people.
Because you did this song with Oliver. He posted that on his Instagram a few weeks, maybe about a week or so ago, and I was like, okay.
Oliver was one of the first people that worked with me.
I'm listening.
Oliver was like one of the first people that worked with me. My first video, Money Motivation, was shot by Oliver and Kiri, which works with Oliver. Then also, Oliver did the Scorpion Sting cover. He did my cover art. So Oliver has been like my little fairy god rapper on my side since I started. So that's been my best friend, my Judy through all this. Carl, I've worked with Carl so many times. Me and Carl started doing this around the same time. Funny thing about that, me and Carl actually were going to be a group at first. So that's a little tidbit. That's funny. We were going to be a group. Yeah. So now as the artist I am now and where I am now, has been like a big 360. Like I've learned so much by working and being in the studio and working with different producers. I've learned so much that I feel like my artistry has grown, and I feel like y'all get to see that next year.
Okay.
And I'm excited that I can give you a little exclusive.
We like exclusives. Come on, spill it. What's good?
This will be the first place that I say the name of my next project. My next project is named Young King.
Okay, Young King.
And I feel like it's a mixture of who I am at this point and all the different journeys that I've taken right now. Mm-hmm. I think I just mixed them all into different like sounds and different vibes. My voice has matured on this project. So I'm just excited to get some of this out. I can't wait.
Listen. So again, full disclosure, we talked about this the other day, but when, like, you know, I was kind of giving you the side eye in that first episode. I said, woo, Rico, woo. And then you started rapping, and I was joking when I said it, but I was so serious. Your whole, and I'm not saying you were copying his style, but it reminds me of Mystical. And so it's that very in your face, I'm coming at you, I'm coming full throttle. And even if you I've listened to a couple of your other singles, you have that very much in your face, this is me, this is what you're going to get. And it's that real raspy type, you know, cadence to it. And so I'm looking forward to it. So you say you feel like this new project is going to show where you are now. So how do you feel like you might have grown, or the lyrics wise, or what the story you're telling?
Well, writing wise, I really dove in my bag when it came to writing, because at the beginning when I first started, I didn't understand about, you know, how to actually form a song.
Okay.
But now, since working with different people and different artists and different producers, I see different things that I like from different people, and I put them together, and I play with it.
Okay.
And I feel like that's where my sound has led me. It brought me to a place where I could be vulnerable, because now I'm writing more songs that are catering to what's going on right now in my life. Like I have a song that I wrote like right after my grandmother died.
Oh. Okay.
And that song is very powerful to me, because it explains like all the things that I sit in my room at night and think about in my head. Mm-hmm. And you know, a person can be their own worst enemy. And you're the one that's sitting there coming up with these notions and ideas about you, thinking like this is what people are thinking about you, not knowing that that's your own perception of what you think people think of.
There you go. And listen, we can be our own worst.
And I took that and I put that into a song. Relationships, people that I've dated, I've put songs into. I put my words into a song about that. And dealing with these fake ass bitches, I sure enough wrote a song called Fake Ass just for these hoes I've been working with.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so is that the perfect segue into the Circle Atlanta?
Yes,
are we
that's
talking
perfect.
about the Circle Atlanta? So before we go there, all right, y'all, I want y'all to, not right now, but when we done, I want y'all to stay here and listen to what Rico got to tell us. But when we done, I want everybody to go over to go on over to iTunes, give Rico a nice little early Christmas gift, and just download a single or two. We can do that. We can download a single or two. Okay, y'all go on over there and give Rico a single or two.
Get and that book out. A friend about a single.
Book out your chest.
Yes, get that book out. Get that book out your. You better let them know.
So y'all, but when we done, and then when you download it, then you tell a friend to tell a kin,
and then
Rogers. Okay, so let's get to the circle, honey. So we had this week's episode was your last episode because you had another opportunity and you had to go take care of the. But we did get a sneak peek from the reunion, and you showed up to the reunion.
I did.
By the time you got to the reunion, it was a whole different energy. And so what I mean by that, so what I'm gonna just go, you know, I'm gonna cut it. I don't do no side talking. We're gonna cut it, and I know you that type of person too. So it seems like the cast where we are now. Not when they were filming, because I know y'all filmed that a few months ago, like back in the late winter, early spring of last year. I mean, earlier this year. So, okay, Jamal said he wanted to get Rico to help him write something. So yeah, y'all get in the studio. Y'all gonna do that. Handle it.
I've been waiting for Jamal. Jamal be playing.
You know, Jamal is busy. He is booked and busy, ain't he? Jamal is booked and busy. I'm gonna get Jamal to paint me one day, and Jamal gonna paint me one day, honey. But it seems like the cast has split into two camps. And I think you were even saying the 180, because again, the circle listen, I was a little slow. I was like, why he 180? And then Abby had to tell me, girl, circle 180. I said, oh shit. Listen, sometimes I'm too smart to be this dumb, okay? I'm just
having it'd be like that.
Because I was like 180. It really went over my head. But it almost seems like the cast has split in two. And I don't want to call names of who's on what side, but it'll become evident as we talk, I'm sure. And then there's some that are sort of in the middle because they're trying to stay neutral, I feel. You know, I feel like Cash is trying to stay neutral. I don't feel like Cash is trying to pick and I don't know this. I'm saying this is what my perception is. I don't feel like he's trying to pick a side. I think maybe he sees things the way he sees them, though. So how did we get here? You know, because I feel like in that last episode we saw where you had a good conversation with Joel. We saw where you and Martell were in the studio together a few weeks ago. It didn't seem like there'd be no beef with you and Tevin. You were talking to Tevin about wanting him to come to, you know, the party without Martell, even though Martell came anyway. Martell was there anyway, honey. But listen, okay, let me rewind. Your ass at that damn party at Melly's house was
Let me say, I don't drink, and they had me drinking.
Oh, you're not a drinker. Okay.
I can get tipsy very quickly. And I think that's what they be doing to me on these shows. Because they know once I get to drinking, my mouth, I don't give no fuck. So
you were sitting there like it was the looks more than anything. The look on your face said it all. You were just like, what the hell? And what we didn't notice, or what it was a lot that we didn't know as viewers, which is a good thing. I like when stuff like that happens because then it makes you go back and be like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta go back and look at that again. Now that I know what I know. We didn't know about the whole Melly Dante situation. We didn't know that it was an actual effort to try and get Tevin to show up without Martell. Like, we didn't know that there were specific things that were going on for specific reasons. So kind of how did we get to where we are now, where it seems like it's not just I'm not tight with them, I prefer other people. It seems like there's some straight up.
Oh no, we don't fuck.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like it's some straight up beef.
Yeah,
how we get here? In the words of Deborah Cox, how did we get here?
Yeah, it's not impossible. It's possible. We got beef. How it got here was when we were filming some of us knew what things were going to look like when it came out.
Okay.
See, dealing with people, the thing people forget about these reality shows is if you're being your authentic self and you're not trying to put on for the camera, you know what you said out your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And you can stand on your grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the 180, the issue we have with them is Jewel is very manipulative. And I'm going to say the witch's name tonight because I don't give a fuck because I ain't on the show no more. She is very manipulative. And her thing is, if you don't see it her way, she gonna find a way to manipulate you to feel some type of way and make you look at to be a certain thing because you don't agree with her.
Okay.
And what she did was she used Tevin and Martell, who are guinea pigs, and just want to be seen. Because as we know, Martell is a narcissist who can't do nothing but talk about himself, which covers up his low self-esteem. And Tevin is that. She's just that. She's just there. Because she didn't really have a storyline because her storyline was basically hounding Melly B about something I did.
She did make a big see, I'm sorry. Y'all know y'all do that. He did make a big deal about that whole who was invited, who wasn't invited. I thought this was invitation only, but it's not invitation only. I was confused by that whole situation. I guess you had to just
let me get some clarity to that. Let me clarify that. Okay, so when Melly B had us all on the phone, we literally were sitting there genuinely thinking, okay, since Melly can't be with that girl can't come around without an argument happening. Let's see if we can pull people apart so we can just get to be around them and see how things mesh when we're around them.
Got it.
Because what actually happened was all the insecurities that they had on the 180 about what we were doing, they were self-projecting that on themselves because we actually just wanted to get to know y'all apart because when we were sitting at the table, we noticed we couldn't be together.
Got it. Okay.
But they didn't see it like that. They tried to see us trying to manipulate them and do. No, we literally just was trying to build a friendship so it could not always be an argument because we see that Jewel and Millie can't be together.
Yeah, no, that's not no. That's
and
not
people didn't get that. People wanted to come up because when you don't have a real personality and you're overacting or you're over exaggerating for cameras, that's the first thing you're going to think of. So with Tevin not really having a storyline, he used Melly B for a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the only way I can see it because Melly B told you several times to ask somebody else. When he was at the little trap bingo and he confronted Melly about not inviting him, Melly said, ask the other people, they out there. And then he ran into Mulatto and Mulatto was like, well, the person out there. So she did what she claimed I did to her to me at trap bingo. And yet and still Tevin still did not ever approach me about it.
Now you and Tevin knew each other from Synergy though, right?
Yeah, we worked together, but we didn't have a real relationship.
But he knew you, so why do you feel like he didn't feel comfortable coming to you?
Because I think after what he saw at the ACTV event, where don't play with me,
yeah,
I would be a little nervous to come approach me too.
Now, I saw some familiar faces at that event. I saw Rico with a K. I saw Amani Van Zap. Was that four that you were arguing with?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
At the time that was Tevin's boyfriend.
Oh.
So that shows you how fake his storyline was with trying to date Dante. He was dating 4 at that time.
Huh.
That's why you're going to see 4 for the rest of the season with him because they were dating at that time period.
Shut the front door.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Because, I know who 4 is from G Status.
Right. Now
and
you know why he was.
You don't have a good relationship, but that's another conversation for another day, child. Okay, see, listen.
Because I want to, you know what? Since we talking about this, I want to clarify stories because the 180 did a lot of lying. How we got to the point where we really like are at war is because they started doing reviews and coming up with lies in their reviews to cover up their stories. Because if you go on my page, I caught Tevin in a lie where he said, "Oh, Rico wasn't supposed to perform at the ACTV event. He just jumped on stage." When clearly, if you go look at the flyer, I'm on the flyer as a performer.
But he broke into a whole song that ain't nobody asked for.
Yes, nobody asked for, nobody cared for, and it was not that good. And he sure did. But he want to go on another stage talking about I wasn't supposed to. They lie, and that's what gets them caught up. The reason why me and Jewel got into it on the reunion was because she jumped her happy-go-lucky ass in that whole thing about ACDTV talking about. So I talked to her, little bitch. I don't know you. I didn't talk to you. I didn't speak to you. The first time I really knew who Jewel was when we were at the friends brunch, and the only thing I said to her was, "Hey, how you doing? You look nice." Because that was the first time we all met each other.
Right, so that brunch lasted. I feel like y'all was at that brunch for 12 hours, but anyway.
We technically was there for about 2 hours.
I feel like y'all was there. That brunch seemed like it went on the whole time.
Right, because even then, the whole Alyssa situation with the comments, me and Alyssa, y'all don't see it, but when she made certain comments, me and Alyssa looked at each other like, is this bitch for real? And then we just was like, okay, girl, I guess. It was just too much lying that was done trying to cover up stuff. And because they think that they put it on YouTube, we can't respond to it, that people are going to actually believe their stories. Because you only hear one side.
When you put it on YouTube, people are going to that's actually the opposite. People will respond to it when it's on YouTube. Trust me, I know. Okay.
So a lot of the stuff that they said, and then the witch sitting there pushing her agenda to mute Melly because of her non-binary, I don't know what I want to be today friend, claim that she used the wrong pronouns. While you sitting there being a piece of prejudiced shit to a cast member that is a trans woman that's sitting there just because you a shit-faced ass bitch. I'm sorry, I don't like that hoe. I can't respect her no more because she's a fake activist.
Listen. I gave my disclaimer at the beginning that I'm not taking sides. I'm interviewing. These are your feelings. This is how you feel. You got the platform to say your piece. This you speaking, boo.
Because I'm sitting here trying to understand how you trying to manipulate
the situation. She can come on.
Being a prejudiced ass piece of shit to somebody who was actually trying to be nice to you. We never got a chance to actually be a circle because they were too busy on their guard trying to create a show.
Okay.
That's how we got to this point.
So, you feel like they were never genuine?
No. They were genuinely trying to create their own storylines, and they saw an opportunity when and to be fair, it was me that started the group message between Melly, me, Alyssa, Mulatto. Dante wasn't originally in the group. Dante was added by one of them because I had Cash, Melly, Alyssa, and Mulatto. That was the initial group. Because when we sat down, me and Melly had a conversation prior to filming that let me know, okay, he a cool ass person. Mm-hmm. So let me give him an opportunity. Let me give him his chance for me to get to know who he was. I already knew Alyssa, and I want to clarify something else that she said. Well, Alyssa acted like she didn't know you. Alyssa, when I stopped doing drag, I stopped going around drag. I stopped going around the friends that I had because it was an addiction. It was something that if I could always get money, and I'm a hustler. I'm always about getting money. So if I was around those friends and I was in a situation where I was like, "Ooh, I need some quick money," I'm gonna say fuck what I'm standing for quitting, and I'm gonna go back and get me some cash. So
I mean, is that okay? We'll come back to that. There was a reason why. I mean, there was a situation that made you stop doing drag.
When my gay grandmother died, when Tanisha died, I just didn't have the love for it anymore, the passion.
I got you.
So,
okay.
but Tanisha always used to tell me, just go for your dreams, do what you dream. Just if drag is what you want, do it full heartedly and go hard heartedly for it. But you know, it was being an entertainer because, like I said, all my childhood I've always wanted to be an entertainer. So it was like, okay, I want to do this. I want to give myself the opportunity to actually do this.
Got you. Okay.
But I didn't want to fall back on drag.
Right. You know things. Right.
So I stopped hanging around everybody. It took me like 2 to 3 years before I started coming back around it.
Got it. Okay, I got you.
So it's just.
But I don't feel like. But even in Alyssa said that in the confessionals that when she saw you, you looked familiar. So I don't feel like she acted like she didn't know. I mean, not from what we saw as the viewers.
So that was my thing. Like I naturally gravitated, and then Mulatto was the first person I filmed with. So, and her personality was so infectious. I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna like her. So I already had, and me and Cash knew each other outside because Cash's best friend JD Blackstone was one of my friends. So I've met Cash already outside.
Cash is hilarious to me. When I say Cash is hilarious to me, Cash, I love.
That is genuinely him, for real.
He is hilarious to me.
So I naturally gravitated towards them. So it was basically me and Martell knew each other out, from the circuit. I mean, I never really knew Tevin like that. Like I only knew him because we passed each other filming. And in the season that I did, my scenes were so short, I really didn't never film with him.
Okay.
So I never really knew Tevin. Jewel, I didn't know her. Megabody, me and Megabody knew each other from performing, but he was somebody kind of new because I didn't really know him like that. I've worked with him. And I didn't know Eugene. And they were like not as approachable when we first all got together as everybody else.
Got you.
Jewel was, me and Jewel took pictures together because our outfits were cute, and the photographer there wanted to take pictures of us. But like I never really got a chance to know her because after the whole Melly B thing, I think she thought I took sides, or it felt like it was sides drawn in the line, and they started just hanging out with them, and we were just like, okay, well, let's try to hang out with y'all or see what we can do. But so I think they were just
almost before y'all really got a chance, it sort of clicked up.
Right. I think they just wanted to attack Melly for a storyline because everything that they attacked Melly for, somebody else did.
So do you think? Like I said, I never watched The Circle New York, but I do know that Melly had a reputation because some of the other people, some of the other reviewers that I'm cool with, they did review The Circle, and so So do you feel like they attacked Melly because they kind of
Melly,
they kind of felt like he was going to be the villain anyway, or he was an easy target?
Yeah, Melly was going to be the number one enemy anyway. Anybody that watches Circle New York knows that Melly is the villain in all the time. That's just common knowledge. Go for Melly. I mean, you gonna get a reaction or you gonna get something back. So it's like Melly was an easy target. Jewel's best friend is somebody who's beefing with Melly B on The Circle New York. So Jewel automatically knew what she was getting into.
Yeah. And that's
you can't tell me that your homegirl gonna let you do a show with somebody they don't fuck with and not warn you about them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I said that in my review when that whole situation went down, when they got, again, I didn't watch The Circle of New York, so I didn't know who B-Hawk was. I didn't know nothing about it, but just based on that conversation, I was like, But anyway, so that's kind of where we stand now with that whole situation. Now, one of my biggest, and Jamar's, I don't know if he's still here or not, but Jamar was in the chat, and I've said this before, so I ain't saying nothing behind production's back. I still feel like the reunion was filmed too early because I feel like I almost need to have a part 2 at this point. Okay.
You not going. You couldn't pay me to sit with them people again.
Okay, maybe not. For the purposes of we're in a different place with a lot of people, but no, still not. No, okay.
I definitely don't want to because, baby, yeah, no, I would never.
So if there's a season 2, it'll be a season 2 without Rico.
You can never say never because who said I was done with this season? I might not be on this one, but who said I might not have gone somewhere else? I was in New York.
Well, that is true. That is a valid statement. We will keep our eyes out, honey. We will keep our eyes out. Okay. So I feel like as a viewer, and again, I've said all these things before. As a viewer, the biggest frustration is the time lapse. Do you feel like, I don't want to put you in a bad position, so if you don't want to answer this, you can't. You don't have. Do you feel like maybe y'all stories kind of got lost in the fact that it's such a long time?
You know what's so funny? You know that season was shot in 2 weeks.
Really?
Everything you watching happened in 2 weeks.
So, never mind.
Right.
Never mind.
He put that many people together that fast and got all that.
Denny Oakins said he watched 5 web series this weekend and Rico was at all of them. You are on your grind.
I'm getting my check. I am getting my check.
You are on your... Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. So we have The Circle. We have Mr. We have Frenergy. What's the other ones?
I was in a movie called The Assistant that's on YouTube.
I heard about The Assistant. Jamar's in that too, right?
And he's in The Assistant too. Yeah. I was in both. What else have I done? Frenergy. Web Life.
Web Life. That was the other one. Web Life. Right. Okay.
Child, I'm just, hey.
Look, did he put it in the chat for you? Web Life.
And to be fair, Web Life, everyone who is a Web Life supporter and that likes the Web Life, get ready. The rest of the season is dropping on Thanksgiving. Okay. They had technical difficulties where they lost some of our confessionals.
Oh,
so they
had to reshoot.
We had to go back and revamp and redo some stuff. So just get ready. Thanksgiving, season 2, Web Life is going to continue. And it's going to get messier and sillier. Okay. I like the Web Life because it was cute shade. It wasn't like I can still talk to those people. Like I can even still talk to Tony because Tony may be a bankrupt charade wannabe, but he's still respectful to the point where I don't want to hit him for real in real life.
Diva said, thank goodness, because they were missing their Web Life. I know that's right.
We coming back.
Jamal said
his mouth gets a lot juicier.
Well, let me I'm going to drop some tea, too.
Oh, come on.
You're not saying this. I'm saying this. So, what I know is that Chasing Atlanta is filming right now, currently for their next season. And what I know is that Oliver is hosting this event on December the 17th. So what I feel like I know is that y'all might be seeing Rico on another web series coming up soon. And I'm going to leave it at that. That's it. That's all. I'm going to leave it right there. Now, y'all read between the lines and y'all do what that y'all want. Moving on.
Hey, how you doing, sweetie? I'm back.
I'll leave it at that, okay? So... overall, your experience with web series, do you feel like that's a lane that you like being? But Rico has seen what it takes to put these circle episodes together. LOL.
That is true.
Yes. So overall, do you feel like doing web series is that sort of like a space for you, or is that your stepping stone to that next space you're trying to get into?
It's a step. Anything I do is a stepping stone to the next thing.
Okay, because I think one thing I learned during the pandemic, and you probably know this as well. When things shut down, YouTube blew up. Like YouTube was already, I was doing YouTube before the pandemic, but celebrities started YouTube channels. A lot of a lot more web series popped up. So it ain't nothing wrong with being on a web series on YouTube. Like it's nothing wrong with that. So that's why I asked. Is that
I still get people inboxing me like literally yesterday. This guy inboxed me and said, "Hey, I'm stuck in the house. Please don't mind me if I'm getting on your nerves. I'm stuck in the house, so I'm watching all of the Mister right now, and I got so many questions." And I get people hitting me up about the Mister like every other day, or the Circle Atlanta or Web Life. Like I've been in the club and people have been like, "Ooh, you from that show?" I was like, "Web Life? No, the other one."
Right.
The Mister. No, the other one. The Circle. Yeah, that one. You and Melly B and all them. I was like, even on Jack, I done had somebody hit me up on Jack talking about some, you was on the Circle.
Not on Jack. Okay.
So the web series universe, it really does help.
It does. It does.
And I enjoy it.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and it's definitely a space that you said where you can either grow or you can use it to go to that next spot. So where is the next place? Where is that next spot that where Rico trying? I know you have your project coming out. Where's the next space you're trying to go to? My
goal is to actually be a very marketable musician. Like I really want to, do what Saucy is doing. Really make a name for myself as an LGBT artist. I know a lot of artists be like, I'm an artist. I'm not I'm an LGBT artist because this is the community that I live in. This is the community that I grow from. This is the community I write about. So I'm an LGBT rapper. I could be a rapper all day, but I'm always going to keep the LGBT to it because that's what makes me me.
We had that conversation when we were in Atlanta, actually. Myself and El Teddy, I don't know if you're familiar with El Teddy. He's a YouTuber as well. He's a really good friend of mine. And Abby, when we were down there, we did a show on his channel. And that was the conversation we were having. We were talking about, and El Teddy was saying how for him as a black man, but also part of the LGBTQ community, he was like, I can't separate the two. Like, yes, I'm black, but I'm also gay. And when there are issues that affect me, they affect me this way, and so that was a conversation we had about that as well. Like you can't separate the two.
Yeah, like I never want to just be like, oh, I'm just a rapper. No, I am a gay rapper. This is my lifestyle. This is me. I mean, this is what I rep for. You can say what you want about it. I rep for my LGBT community and I make music for my people. If God grants it and it gets to be on a platform that's national and worldwide and it catches on and I get to be the artist that I actually want to be, I'm going to be grateful to the people that helped me and was there from the beginning. Like the YouTube circuit really has built my name.
Got you. So if you had to choose between music or acting, which one would you choose? Acting. You said that quick too. You said acting.
I love acting. Acting is like you get to be somebody else and create your own world. And it's like a whole nother thing. Like I love being able to submerge myself into a character and become a different person.
All right. Any aspirations to move behind the camera? You have any aspirations to get into producing or directing, or you're fine with?
No, I've actually season 2, the last I want to say it was like the 3rd or 4th episode, to the ending of season 2 of the Mister. I tried my hand at directing.
Okay,
I co-directed that episode, and I've also been working on a script for a movie that I've been trying to get started. So I have, and I write like. A side job that I have is writing for other artists. Like I'm working I got to go to the studio Friday with a female rapper and work with her. So I love behind the scenes work. It's more money.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. More money. Jamar said acting is fun as fuck. Y'all gotta see me and Rico sing together in The Assistant too. Okay.
Yeah, Jamar kills me.
Well, why you give it away? We ain't seen it.
Oh, I'm the first thing on in the first. I'm the Drew Barrymore of the movie.
Now I'm the Drew Barrymore of the movie.
I'm Drew Barrymore.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check it out. I was actually going to try to get down to Atlanta for the premiere, but child, it ain't work out. Okay, but I definitely was here for that. So, any final words, any future, anything you want to share? That, like I said, when we done here, y'all gonna run on over there to that iTunes and download a single or 2 or 3. Okay,
please.
And y'all gonna be ready for that new project that's coming out. Did you say when? I apologize if you said it and I don't remember.
No, the name is Young King. It's not an official date yet.
Okay, but we'll definitely put it up here when we get a date. We will definitely repost it and post it up here and let y'all know. But y'all, in the meantime, y'all get caught up on the other stuff that's out there. What's next? What's in the future?
I have a lot. Top of the year, I'm hitting y'all with a underwear line.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about
that. I'm doing a bear and leather line. Very, my thing right now is real leather.
Can I ask you a personal question? You don't have to answer. Are you a part of the leather community?
I'm not, but I enjoy what the leather community stands for.
Okay, because I did an after dark on my channel. Ooh, it's been a while. It's probably been about 6 or 7 months ago. I did an after dark with some friends of mine who are in the leather community, and we talked all about what that really looks like, what it is, what are some of the preconceived notions, what are some of the misinformation, and it was a really good conversation. They're all members of Onyx.
Mm-hmm.
So up here in DC, and it was one of my friends. Well, he's a friend of a friend, but he's Onyx down out of Florida. He lives in Florida. So we actually had. That's why I asked when you said leather. That's what made me think of that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, I really enjoy the community. I love the stance. I love the power. I love all of that. As you see, I'm always in something black and leathery.
Okay.
So it was brought up. It was an opportunity brought to me by a company called Boom Like a 808, which is a adult store online.
Like a 808.
Right.
Hey, okay.
So I have that coming. I have my project. Young King dropping next year. I can give you some.
Hey, Markel.
I can give you some of the. I can give you some of the features that you can hear. You might want to, I have 7 Deep. Okay. 7 Deep is going to be on there. I also have Rico with a K and Oliver. So, okay, all right. And some more. I got some more features coming.
But listen, we'll be like I said, and if this is what I always tell people when they come over here on my platform. The platform is here. The platform is open. If you ever you need to come back through and when it's ready to drop and you want to put it out there, listen, come on through. We can do that. We can have a good old listening party or what have you. When I open up my platform to y'all, we're not a one and done. Definitely when you have a new project, another web show, something else you want to share, you can always just hit me up and be like, I need to come through and talk about some things. And I'd be like, come on through. Come on through, because like I said, I've been wanting to get you on here. It was me. Because I said, I want to get Rico, and then it'll be like 1 week would pass, and then a week would pass, and then a week would pass. So I'll be looking forward to Painful Place again. What?
Okay, so Painful Place is a song that's on my project that Jamar heard.
Oh, because I'm like, what?
That's a song, yeah. Like I said, my music has taken a different shift, and that Painful Place talks about a relationship that I was trying to be in, where I knew I wasn't ready to be in a relationship, but I really liked this person. I wanted them just to wait for me to get my shit together so we could be together.
And they were like, we ain't doing that. Ain't nobody waiting for you.
They're like, but child, what? Why I gotta wait?
Right. Ain't nobody waiting for you. Okay, so But yeah, I'm glad you came. Thank you for making the time. He was so gracious and flexible. He was like, "You let me know when you're ready, and we gonna make it happen." And it was boom, boom, and boom, because I definitely wanted to get it, especially after that last episode, and I knew that was your last circle. But I think what I'm gonna do, I think after the reunion, I might try to talk to some people again and see where we are now after the season is over. After the reunion, I don't know if I can bring Melly back up here because the last time I had to take my video down after I brought Melly up on my channel. The last time I got to edit that. I'm still going to re-upload that video, but I got to edit that part out with Melly ass. He better be lucky I like him.
I know that mouth, so I know that mouth, so I know what she could have probably said.
No, remember he flashed that picture.
Oh yeah, Dante Doorstopper. He pulled out that door stopper. What? It's a door stopper.
Stop. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for coming on here. Don't click off yet. When we end it, I'm gonna talk to you backstage for a second.
Okay.
The reunion will be in the fall of 2020. Child, that reunion gonna be in 2020. Let me not say that. I love Jamal.
Girl, no shade. I don't care, Jamal. That thing gonna be in 2023. The way y'all going, y'all got what 10 more episodes? They're gonna be watching the show up until probably next year. Listen, one thing I will say is that it is a commitment. I already wanted to see why the reunion was only 3 people in a hot place. No, it wasn't just 3 people, but I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, there were certain people who, I ain't gonna say their name, but there were certain people who didn't want to film with certain people. All right, you want the link now to come on now or to come backstage tomorrow? Yeah, come on here, Jamal. Come on.
Because I don't know if I'm sending you the link, but I don't. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. No problem. Melly, I'm going to send you the link, too, if you want to come.
Oh, yeah. Melly get to come on.
I don't know if he's still in here or not, but
Melly get out here.
You know Melly. Listen, I ain't putting him, like I said, I ain't putting him back on camera. I ain't putting him back.
Okay, so somebody said the reunion was 3 people in a hot basement. Actually, no, they had air conditioning. And it was all of us was there. I was the last one to get there. They thought I wasn't going to make it because I couldn't get off work. Because I was going to go to work, bitch.
Oh, yeah, you got to go.
One thing y'all know about me, I'm going to work.
Listen.
But the reunion, yeah, you had the witch that didn't want to film because, yeah.
She didn't want to film with Melly, right?
Right. But Melly was out there the whole time. And we had to get the venue up at 6 o'clock. And I walked in at 5:30. So they rushed me right on stage because they had just talked to everybody.
Okay.
So she really just sat backstage most of the time. I think she had they did one part where she was out there and she and Alyssa were talking, and then they brought me, Alyssa, Tevin, and Jewel out there to talk. And I embarrassed the shit out of Tevin because I caught him in another lie. That man just be lying. That man talk about something. He filed paperwork in Fulton County. First of all, do you think I give a fuck about going to Rice Street? I done been to Rice Street twice. That is a walk in the park. So first, and you don't even know my real government name to file any charges. What you gonna file on Rico Cassadine? Girl, what you gonna say? Rico Cassadine that lives where? Cause you ain't got no information on me. So that's the first lie I caught you in. Talk about the paperwork has been filed. Baby, you can't file no paperwork on a threat. And then Miss no bond glue having on ass over here, she want to get in my face over a post that I made on Instagram. I'm sorry that you didn't put enough glue on your wig for it not to sit back here. And then on top of that, it's not my fault that you ain't got edges. I ain't the one that told you to wear no wig with no glue and you ain't got no edges. So you can't be mad at me that I posted that your wig was doing a salute.
That's the post. That was the post, Rico.
It was just she got upset over a post.
Did you say? Listen, we about to go. Thank y'all so much for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much again, Rico, for being here. You hold tight. Melly's already backstage, child. You hold tight. Jamar is on his way. We're going to talk about some things backstage.
All right.
We will definitely have y'all back, and we are looking forward to your new projects, honey. Thank y'all again. Mwah. Peace.
Mwah.
I'm not doing